right, this week on the show, we are going to be fearlessly questioning making things easier with none other than Brian Clark himself, the founder of Copyblogger and Studio Press and Thesis and Genesis and all of Synthesis Hosting, all of those great tools that if you are a WordPress user, you have probably at least considered at one point or another. And he is also we'll call him ringleader of the latest marketing automation platform to hit the market, a new Rainmaker, which just came out of beta here in the last month or so. And I really first of all, Brian Clark, you don't see him out doing many of these interviews, so I'm pretty excited for that. He kind of keeps to himself, so kind of crazy that he's actually coming on. I used the whole new Rainmaker thing to kind of get him on here, and that's what we're going to talk about. And really, where it all came down is I've been fascinated with New Rainmaker since they launched this podcast to kind of bring people along the journey to help kind of introduce it. And it was very fascinating to me, and I kind of ate it all up. And when it came time to actually try it out, there was the first few pilot group of people that that was listening to the podcast that could try it out. I jumped right on board with it, and I thought that it would be interesting to give it a shot. And I also use another well-known marketing automation platform within my work within the insurance agency, my family's agency, and that's HubSpot. And HubSpot is the 2-ton gorilla that sits in the marketing automation room most of the time. And I've had a fantastic experience with HubSpot as well. And Brian came out swinging on a couple new Rainmaker podcasts, comparing it directly to HubSpot or making it a point of reference, and just made some pretty bold claims. And so I thought, well, let's kind of bring him on to talk about that a little bit. But again, we always kind of go a little bit deeper, one or two levels deeper. And really what's at the core of all of these tools and systems is just making things easier for you and your ability to leverage those tools and actually get more things done, to streamline things. And if you are a small operation, it can't be understated how important that is. And most of the time, those small operations are the ones that say, well, I can't afford that, I can't do that, when it's actually, you don't have the manpower to duplicate what those platforms do, and to not be seriously finding a way to make that happen. That drives me nuts a little bit, because you're complaining about where the ship is going when you are in control. It's you just want to complain about the outcome that you are creating. And I don't even know if that has anything to do with what we will actually end up talking about. But, like I said, I thought Brian made some pretty bold claims against HubSpot. Maybe he's just trying to drum up, interest. I believe on the, if you've been to fearlesslyquestioning.com at all, I did a HubSpot versus new Rainmaker kind of comparison review-ish thingy. And Brian actually stopped by to comment, and he said, talking about the actual overall need period for HubSpot as it relates to the kind of expensive cost of it. And that's kind of new Rainmaker's kind of angle, is they're serving that WordPress market, those people that are using WordPress sites that have never really considered these tools, and have been that person that says, I can't afford that. And he thinks that there's a great opportunity. I would agree, but even then, from the few people that I've talked with, and obviously Brian talks to more people in one day than I do in probably a whole year. But what I've been hearing is that person, whether it's $200 or whether it's $95 or whether it's $150 or whether it's even probably $50 a month, they're going to find a reason to say why they don't need that thing. And they're fine doing it on their own, piecing it together with their duct tape and paper clips and their MacGyver-esque techniques. And, that's fine, but why make things harder on yourself? Why not make things easier on yourself? And even beyond that, just on the kind of direct, making things easier for you, The other thing that I want to kind of dig out with Brian is, what can you do to make, because it seems like everything that Copyblogger has done over the years, they're obsessed with making things easier for their people, solving problems for their audience, and that, and they've been successful at it. And, Brian's probably going to tell you that they just listen to what people want. But I think the bigger thing and the harder thing for maybe you and me is actually getting people to tell you what they want. When you're just starting out, nobody really cares what you're doing. Nobody cares enough to say, well, boy, Joe, I think you could really help me do this. At some point, maybe they do, but I think that's a part of, your challenge as well, is even getting to the point where you can actually hear somebody complain to you. And I kind of want to know Brian's thoughts on that, how to, make things easier for not just yourself, but for the people that you are trying to serve, for the audience that you're trying to build, for the business that you're trying to create. And that is really fascinating to me, in the fact that I feel like a lot of us say that that's what we're doing, but that's not really what we're doing. And there's a lot of that going around, so it's not just limited to this topic. So I won't get too kind of down on it, or I won't, beat that horse too bad. But when you have the opportunity, when you are open-minded enough to just say, listen, we're going to solve whatever this problem is that people want solved, and we're not going to put our biases, I think that's right, biases over it, and assume maybe you're onto something. Now, there are other people, everyone says Steve Jobs as a reference, who said it's his job to tell people what they, to help people understand or discover what it is they need or want. And I agree with that too. That's the kind of the musician, the creative in me, thinking, if you listen to your fans about what kind of record to make, there's a reason that they're not doing it themselves. And at some point, you need to find that balance. What is that balance? I don't know. How do you kind of follow that, that intuitive nature that you have with something, and also stay true to what it is that the people that you're trying to get the attention of want. And this all, like I said, this all kind of stemmed from just putting these two companies, these two platforms that I have kind of, one have a much greater, deeper relationship with, and the other one that is kind of the new kid on the block, that has kind of the new kid in the class, if you will, that has kind of stolen my heart, pretty quickly. And I use them for two very different reasons. New Rainmaker is used for Fearlessly Questioning, and HubSpot is used for JangolaInsurance.com. And I think that if I were to switch that equation around, I don't know that it would work as well. I think they, for what they are designed to do, those are the perfect examples of the businesses in which they're designed for. With the exception, I would say HubSpot could probably handle what we're doing here at what we're doing here at Fearlessly Questioning. Yeah, we're not doing anything at New Rainmaker. And it just might be overkill. That's all. So, figuring that out, I want to, like I said, I want to get this kind of more deeper into the ideas of finding those things, the ways to make things easier, and kind of ask Brian too what he does in his own life to make things easier. Because as I talked about a couple episodes ago, I think it was episode, I don't know the number, 14, Your Proximity with Alex Ricky Gonzalez. When you start to take on too many things and you start to feel overloaded, you need to rely on those things. And I'm feeling that more than ever. I might have alluded to that in a previous episode, to where, you're probably not going to want to talk to me in the next couple months till probably the middle of February, as health insurance open enrollment is starting next week. And already, we're getting ready to launch a new site on that HubSpot platform. I've been writing website copy for the last, feels like forever. And we're just ready to launch the thing here in a couple days. And so I've been consumed in that, along with, everything that's been going on with Fearlessly Questioning. And again, like I said, the responsibilities that I have taken on in the Grow Program, or growprogram.com, which is kind of insurance marketing for insurance agents. and trying to keep up with all that and see my kids and my wife and sleep and still maintain a relatively healthy lifestyle, that can get challenging. And without the proper systems and things in place, which I'm not even going to come close to admitting that I'm achieving on any sort of level yet, it's something I'm working towards in all three, I guess, of the areas, two more so than others. But it's that thing of making it easier for you, making it easier for the people that you are trying to reach, and then ultimately, hopefully those two things will kind of add up to where it's easier for everybody, obviously. But that's kind of it. That's all I got for this week. We'll be back with Brian here live, and I hope you join the live show and hear what Brian has to say, because I'm really looking forward to this. This is probably one of the interviews I've been most excited about since I was able to actually nail it down on the calendar. I hope you will join us. It's going to be Thursday, November the 6th, 2 p.m. Eastern. We will be back. Come ready with your question. You can hop on camera with Brian, ask it to him directly. So work up a little fearless questioning courage of your own, and I'll see you there. I'm Joey Giangola. Take it easy, everyone.